Hello and welcome back to the Nest and Inside the Iggles live show. Thank you guys very much for joining me on today, Thursday, the 11th. Guys, the Patriots are dead. They're dead. They're gone. They're gone forever. They're gone for now. They're gone forever. We're gonna go gone forever, guys. Bill Belichick is gone from the Patriots. It's just good news for everybody, honestly. You just got to be happy. You just got to be happy that so many people who don't I feel like they didn't like football, they just like Tom Brady. All those people, everything that they know and loved is gone. I almost wish it was more of a thing where the Pats fired Tom Brady rather than like mutually coming to an agreement that he's leaving. They were never going to do that. But he is gone. It's just a fan base with no leader. They got no head coach. They got Mac Jones and Bailey Zappi, which is great. That's great. There's a lot of head coaches now. I know yesterday I was talking about Pete Carroll being gone, kind of weird too, especially since it seems like looking at that press conference, kind of seemed like he still wants to coach. Still really into it. So I don't know if he's going to be gone for if Pete Carroll's going to be gone forever, but he's done with the Seahawks. That's three big losses in 2 days. That's Nick Saban, Pete Carroll, Bill Belichick. I'm not entirely sure what would have to happen for there to be this big of a change with like generational coaches leaving, like on both college and NFL. I mean, whenever Mike Tomlin goes, that'll certainly be something. But there's going to have to be he's easily the longest he's easily the longest tenured coach right now. It's probably Mike Tomlin and maybe Andy Reid are like the two longest tenured head coaches right now. But that's not what's important. Bill Belichick is gone from the Patriots, and that's a bunch of unhappy people. And it's good. It's good to have unhappy people to just be around. Like you. Obviously, we're unhappy right now. We're all Eagles fan. We're unhappy people. We're unhappy right now with the way that the season has gone, and just to have those people who experienced unbridled joy and no adversity for 20 years. Hit the road, Jack. Welcome. Get down on the level. Get down with everybody else, you dogs. Get down with it. I love that. I was thinking about that if because Bill Belichick's going to get hired somewhere else. I know people have been saying potentially Washington, which would kind of be that would be interesting to me because if he goes to Washington, we're talking. I brought this up earlier this week with the Commander situation. Bill Belichick getting a second round draft pick, being able to get himself a bright, shiny new quarterback and get paid an assload of money. That would be frightening, but I'm thinking that wherever Bill goes, he's just gonna have Josh McDaniels run the offense, which is funny because that guy clearly sucks and everybody hates him. I mean, they like that was Ravens, not Ravens, Raider. They hate him. They hate that guy. That was vitriol. That was ire, spite. That was pure hatred. That was a loathing that clearly Devontae Adams had towards Josh McDaniels. So somebody else will get him, and they'll be there with Bill Belichick. At least they have that to hang their hat on. I know people also said maybe the Falcons. They said that. I don't really care as long as he doesn't come to the NFC East. Maybe, but again, I could talk myself into that being a positive thing. Anyway, he's gone. He's dead. He's not dead. He's gone though. Bill Belichick's gone. You got to love that. Let's see what we're going to talk about today. Oh, yeah, I'm going Mr. Solo Dolo again today. Brandon can't make it. Ja can't make it. Jeff can't make it. So I'm going Mr. Solo today. I want to kind of do it's Wild Card week. What is it, like day 4, I think is what? Yeah, Wild Card week, day 4 here. Kind of want to go expand it. I kind of want to go a little bit bigger than the Eagles, and then tomorrow we'll lock in and get into like the matchups and our offensive and defensive needs, hopes, and wants. We'll really lock in on this. But first, before I got into it, I wanted to bring up the injury reports. So today for the Eagles and the injury report. And again, the game's on Monday. This is just Thursday, so it's a little bit long. If you see some of these things on a normal week and it's a Thursday, you're like, that sucks. That's really, really bad. Injury report. A.J. Brown with a knee did not practice. Kind of imagine that was going to happen. Reed Blankenship did not practice with the groin. Sidney Brown's on there, which is like, yeah, buddy, we know. Thank you very much. Jalen limited with a finger. Britton Covey groin limited. Devontae Smith practiced in full. Darius Slay practiced in full. DeAndre Swift practiced in full. So the thing about the Jalen thing, he did the press conference today. I don't know if you saw this, but he said that he hasn't thrown a ball since Sunday. And he said that it probably wasn't a good idea for him to go back in the game, to which I think everybody said, yeah, no shit. Duh. Yeah, your finger was crumpled like a piece of paper. You know, you ever do that thing with like like the wrapper on a straw, like at the restaurant, and you take the straw wrapper and you keep folding it over so it looks like an accordion? That's what your finger looked like, Jalen. Probably, yeah, maybe you shouldn't have gone back in, especially if it was for 2-3 plays where he threw an interception. It was a good pick by whatever that guy's name is. I can't remember. I don't want to think about it because we don't have to think about him, but that was a good interception by that guy. But yeah, not a good idea to go back in and throw. He said he has not thrown since Sunday though, and he doesn't know how it's going to feel. I'm fairly confident from what we know from Jalen Hurts, he's going to be the only person that knows how it feels. He's going to play. It's just, I don't know how much pain information he's going to give to the training staff. I'm sure it's 2024. I'm sure they have like strength tests and stuff. And that's kind of my bigger issue with it. Like, yeah, the middle finger is going to adjust how you're like throwing the ball, but he's a tough dude. And we know that he's going to still sling it. Maybe it's affected a little bit, but my bigger issue is kind of the turnovers, like the lost fumbles and everything that he has. That's kind of the grip strength of just holding on to the ball. And I know holding on to the ball, he's not exactly like a Kyler Murray or like a Michael Vick did it, where they just held the ball in one hand and just ran around and it would come out that way. Jalen does tuck it. Maybe the middle finger is not exactly the most important thing on that. I don't know. I'm not a professional athlete. But yeah, that's kind of where my thought is. Yeah, it'll probably affect his like throwing and stuff like that, but he'll gut through that. We know it's Jalen Hurts. All right. And then also Patrick Mahomes is able to cheat during the Super Bowl and use illegal. This is all obviously my theory and not proven. I will prove it at some point. Before I die, I will prove it at some point. But if Patrick Mahomes can cheat during the Super Bowl and use an illegal amount of painkillers, allegedly, I'm the one throwing out the allegations here. Jalen Hurts can take some kind of painkiller, some kind of number, and put that in his finger, and he'll be able to make it through a game. So I'm not necessarily as worried about it. I know the dislocated fingers have been a thing for quarterbacks this year, like when Justin Fields dislocated his thumb. That's your thumb. Like, that's your thumb. That's the most important thing for a human being. Like, this is kind of, I don't want to put it all in one thing, but the entirety of human civilization was thumbs up. I didn't pay attention too much in school, honestly. Now I'm thinking about it and I'm saying things out loud, but that's where I'm at. As far as the Buccaneers injury report goes, this is interesting. I'm going to start with the ones that are less interesting. I did not practice to a full practice for the Eagles. I'm going full practice to did not practice for the Buccaneers. Number one, Mike Green, defensive tackle Mike Green. He practiced in full today. We actually didn't see him when we played the Buccaneers in week 3. Defensive back Josh Hayes was limited. Linebacker KJ Britt did not practice with a calf. Left tackle Tristan Wirfs, who's like really kind of the only good, he's the only really good guy on that Buccaneers offensive line. He did not practice today with an illness. Again, it's Thursday. Does an illness actually matter when it comes down to a game on Friday or on Monday? Probably not, but still, he's on the injury report, didn't get a day of practice, so that might mean something. But the headliner on the Buccaneers injury report, Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield did not practice today. And he's on there for two things, for an ankle and ribs. I said it yesterday. Baker Mayfield's a perpetually hurt guy, and as a perpetually hurt person myself, I get it. But man, Bake, yeesh. Not having him is going to be big. If the Buccaneers don't have him, or if he's going to be playing hurt, we know that. But if they just straight up don't have him, it would end up being Kyle Trask would be their starting quarterback. Now, what we've seen from this Matt Patricia offense or defense is that anybody can beat it, because it's not really a defense, is what it is. A defense, if you had asked me to define a defense, it would be a bunch of guys. It would be a broad definition would be a group of 11 players who line up and try to stop the other team from moving the ball. Matt Patricia's defense doesn't even line up, you guys. They don't even line up. The conversations are still being had when the ball is being snapped. So yes, Baker Mayfield, still a big loss. Do I think Kyle Trask can still beat and not just beat, but shred this Eagles defense? Yeah, I do. Absolutely, I do. We saw Kyle Trask is probably a little bit more comparable to a what's the guy Tostitos Tommy DeVito. He's probably more comparable to that than a what's his name from the Broncos. I'm picturing whoever the Seattle's quarterback. Why can't I think of his name? That guy, the guy that we played with them. And he's probably not as good as Tyrod Taylor. But I still think that he'll be able to torch this defense. I have no faith in this defense. I have no faith in this defense at all. But if Baker Mayfield does not play, it certainly is a big thing. Kind of changes what I venture to say the defense's game plan is. I have not seen a defensive game plan from Matt Patricia other than have Hassan Reddick drop into coverage and then get thrown over, which that's bad. That's a bad game plan. I think objectively, I think we can all agree that's stupid and stop doing that. But he's not going to stop doing it, and that's where we are. Okay. Like I said, I kind of wanted to think globally for this show. Kind of get into the entirety of the wild card weekend. I know earlier this week, Brandon Pockers said that he's not going to call it Super Wild Card Weekend, but I am. Super Wild Card Weekend. Maybe 10, 15 years down the line, we get Super Duper Wild Card Weekend. But the first game that's being played on Saturday is between the CJ Stroud-led Houston Texans and the Joe Flacco-led Cleveland Browns. The Browns are going to Houston. The line in that game, I believe Houston is favored by 2. I'm trying to pull that up right now. Yes, Houston's being favored by 2. Over under in that game's 44.5. So they're looking for there to be a significant amount of points in that game. I believe I saw today. Yes, the Browns cornerback, Denzel Ward. The guy's been really good this year. He's kind of like one of their staples on their defense. He did not practice. Let me see if he's questionable. He's questionable is all it says. So that's kind of a big thing, especially knowing that CJ Stroud can absolutely sling it. This is a tough one, man. That's tough because this Browns team feels like a team of destiny, doesn't it? The Browns feel like a team of destiny. Joe Flacco coming off the bench. I saw people like in that last Browns game where they're like, oh, I can't believe they're sitting Joe Flacco. They're cheating him out of $75,000 or whatever the hell it was. Like, buddy, he wasn't planning on making money playing quarterback this year. He already did his budgeting. He doesn't need that money. I think that Joe Flacco, I mean, what did he do like the first game that he came in? Let me see if I can see what Joe Flacco did. Because, I mean, you could say the dude's old. The dude's he's 38 years old. Maybe you could say, because I know there's the rest versus rust thing. I think it's for a guy like this, it might be kind of dumb. Let me see what his game log is here. His first game coming in this year was against the Rams. He still threw for not that great. He 23 completions for 254 yards and 2 touchdowns. It's kind of middling as far as that goes. He played much better after that. But I don't think that's going to be a big issue. It's hard not to emotionally, you kind of want the Browns. I think you want this Browns. The Browns can eat a big old bag of dicks with the whole Deshaun thing. All right, then the Kareem Hunt and I don't know if Kareem Hunt and Deshaun Watson ever played together. Like I don't know if there was ever a backfield of like that for the Browns this year that consisted of Deshaun Watson and Kareem Hunt. But if it did, that's the most hateable backfield I think ever. I'm pretty sure you got noted sexual deviant Deshaun Watson and woman beater Kareem Hunt. That's not what we have. Right now we're looking at a father of what? 5, Joe Flacco. How do you not like him? How do you not like him? Man, you gotta root, and not to mention, obviously him doing this tongue in cheek. Former Philadelphia Eagle great Joe Flacco. He was on the practice squad for I don't know 2/3 of a preseason. So what a weird. That guy's gonna have a 30 for 30 to someday, and it's gonna be immaculate. It's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be good. And then as far as the Texans go, yeah, the Texans, they don't have Tank Dell. They lost him, but it didn't really matter, man. That CJ Stroud's good. That CJ Stroud's real good. He's good, real good. But one of my I don't know if I want to call it my favorite things, but a very funny thing after they won that Week 18 game. I guess CJ Stroud was wearing a pair of shoes that said free pops on them. It's like, okay, yeah, he wants his dad out of prison. That's good. But then it came out what his dad was in prison for. It's like, oh, that's a bad guy. I'm not gonna say it's not the same thing, but it'd be like it's not, again, very loose comparison here, but it's like wearing a shirt that says free Jelaine Maxwell. Again, not the same. His dad, not a child sex trafficker. CJ Stroud's dad is not that. But it was like some domestic violence, like drunk driving, bashing people. I can't remember what the whole. If you want to look it up, look up what CJ Stroud's dad did. It's like, oh, that's not great. That's not great. We probably the your claws, your cleats thing. There's better ones. Is kind of my point there. I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't like Amari Cooper. Obviously, hard to like Amari Cooper. But that connection that he has with Joe is just good. I think I gotta go Browns. I gotta go Joe Flacco with all the experience over a rookie quarterback. Last year was kind of a fluky thing, if you will. It kind of makes sense with Brock Purdy making it that far into the playoffs because the San Francisco 49ers have a good system for Brock Purdy to be successful in. He was a rookie quarterback. And he had a couple wins, but I think law of averages, we're gonna have a rookie quarterback lose a game in the playoffs. I think it's gonna be in the first round here. I like the Browns on the road against the Houston Texans. The next game, we are going to get the Kansas City Chiefs and the Miami Dolphins. The Dolphins are going to Kansas City, and brother, it's gonna be cold, man. It's gonna be cold. All right. There was a and I think even the New Heights like Twitter account posted it, but some guy posted a video today of Travis Kelce warming up wearing shorts and a t-shirt. Said Travis Kelce not wearing sleeves ahead of a chilly game. I'm gonna give you guys something here. All right. I'm in St. Louis right now. Kansas City's on the other side of the state. It's 400 miles away. Roughly the same climate. They get weather a little bit earlier there than they do here because weather goes west to east. When they tweeted that, the actual temperature was 36 degrees, but the feels like was 28 degrees. Okay. On Saturday night, that game is going to have a feels like temperature. The actual temperature is going to be 16. The feels like is going to be negative 17 degrees. That's so cold. I understand you got to get content out there. You got to get a video of Travis Kelce. You see Travis Kelce jogging and like dancing to the music they're playing on the loudspeakers. I get it. You got to do that. I get it from that point of view. But don't try to spin it, be like, this is a tough guy who doesn't care about cold. Players' skin is gonna freeze if they don't wear sleeves. It's gonna be like day after tomorrow. You're gonna see that. You're gonna see day after tomorrow in Kansas City on Saturday night. On day after tomorrow, they could see the cold weather, everything like getting like the ice crystals, everything freezing and everything just like dying and stuff. That's what it's gonna be like if they're not wearing sleeves. Somebody like remember McLaughlin, right? Isn't that the Giants old head coach, that red faced dweeb? Like that guy. Remember how red his face? That's going to be ever. It's gonna look like blood. It's gonna look like there was a murder. It's gonna look like Carrie on that field. Everybody's skin's gonna be the reddest it's ever been. There are gonna be people just getting bashed and broken. Just their brittle bones shattering in the cold weather is gonna be like somebody cast it's Frozen is what it's gonna be. It's don't give me Travis Kelce's the strongest guy in the world because he's not wearing sleeves. Don't that's so stupid. Anyway, for the game, I don't know about Raheem Mostert. I probably could have looked that up. I don't know if Raheem Mostert's playing. If Raheem Mostert's playing, I sneaky like the Dolphins, which is kind of gross. I know that's like, yes, the Chiefs can eat a big bag of dicks. I get that, but it's the Chiefs. It's a home game. It's the playoffs. They've done this before. The Chiefs are currently 4.5-point favorites. The over-under is 43.5 points. Man, if Raheem Mostert's playing, I like the Dolphins. Although he is also an old guy. He's 31 years old and perpetually hurt. Not this year necessarily. Not this. Well, I guess kind of this year. Maybe because you're gonna get tight if it's cold like that. I think, buddy, I kind of like the Dolphins, and I know that's me emotionally being like I don't. Here's what I'm saying. I don't like the Chiefs. I don't like the Chiefs, is what it is. But 4.5 points is dumb. 4.5 points is dumb for a game like that. Nobody's going to be able to throw the ball. The ball's going to be a goddamn ice cube. The ball's going to shatter hands. It's going to shatter hands is what it's going to be. I'm sure I've seen it in something where like a guy's hand gets really cold and then maybe like an alien. I can't remember. Anyway, it's going to be cold. Nobody's going to be able to throw or catch the ball. Not that the Chiefs necessarily would be able to catch the ball in the first place. Then you got Isaiah Pacheco running like a lunatic. That guy is all the wasted movement. Remember Chris Jones for the Titans all those years ago? That guy was so smooth. He didn't waste any movement at all. Isaiah Pacheco's the exact opposite, man. That guy wastes all the movement. But maybe that works for him. Get every single muscle in your body involved in running to stay warm. So maybe that gives him a little hedge. The fact that he runs using somehow he uses his neck muscles when he runs because that's just his running style. He's like a villain tromping through a meadow. He's just trying to step on everything. The guy's a lunatic. But man, I can't. But also it's Miami. Miami doesn't beat good teams. Chiefs win, Dolphins cover. That's what I'm going with. Chiefs win, Dolphins cover. That's what I'm saying. But that'll be a good game. Not that you're actually going to be able to see it because it's going to be on Peacock. It's going to be on Peacock. If you are looking to sail the 7 seas this weekend and be a little pirate boy, there are ways to do that. And it's always just good to have a computer. I have a Chromebook that I hypothetically somebody could use a Chromebook that they own because it doesn't get viruses. And then if you hypothetically use that Chromebook to use hypothetically less than reputable websites to get games that you are not in. I'm trying to be very careful saying this. If you hypothetically use your hypothetical Chromebook to visit hypothetical websites that hypothetically have these games on them, there are people that are talking hypothetically right now that you could reach out to, and he could hypothetically get you set up with some of those hypothetical websites. All these are hypotheticals. Couldn't be me. It's not me, hypothetically. Okay, so we did that. What is the next game that we have on the docket? So that's the 2 games on Saturday. It'll be a good Saturday. I like Saturday football. It's good. Next game, Pittsburgh at Buffalo. The Steelers are heading to Buffalo. Let's see what the weather's going to be like for that game, because that seems like that's also going to be a blisteringly cold game. Game time weather. I'm pulling up AccuWeather right now for that. On Sunday afternoon, they're going to get 1 to 2 feet of snow. 1 to 2 feet of snow. Normally, I would like the Bills. Normally, I would like the Bills in this. The Bills are 10-point favorites. I'm absolutely going to take 10 points in a snow game against the Bills. I'm absolutely going to take that. The Bills are very, very wishy-washy. It's a roller coaster watching that team. James Cook had that incredible running game against the Cowboys earlier this season. Kind of been quiet since then, but they do have that in them. But this Steelers team, all they can do is run. What are you gonna have Mason Rudolph? We're gonna have Mason Rudolph throw the ball in 1 to 2 feet of snow? That's stupid. That's a dumb thing. That would be a really dumb thing. You would have Najee Harris, who's been playing well. You would have Jaylen Warren, who's been playing well as of late. You would have those guys carry the ball. The over-under in this game, what did I say, was 43.5? 35.5. No. Okay. Yeah. No, I'm gonna take the Steelers. I don't know about outright, though. That's a risky move. I think the fun thing here is taking the Steelers outright. Definitely plus 10. I'm gonna as soon as we get off of this, I'm going to put in a wager for Steelers plus 10. There's no if you got Gabe Davis is out. The Bills are allergic to using Stephon Diggs, except for like maybe once or twice, and even that it's just to draw a penalty. James Cook is good, but again, not what we thought. Not what we thought he could be after that Dallas game. I got to go Steelers. I got to go. I'm on upset alert here. I'm on upset alert. Give me Steelers. Bills were really fun. They were really fun, but they've shown that they can lose just about any game they play. Reminds me of a different team. Let's see. Is there anything else in that? Is there anybody else? TJ Watt is out, so that is kind of frightening. Dawson Knox is questionable. Gabe Davis questionable. Rasul Douglas questionable. Man, I'm liking the Steelers there. All right. Next game that we're looking at here. Green Bay at Dallas. The Jordan Love-led Green Bay Packers against Dallas. The line in this game is Dallas -7. Over-under is 50.5 points. I don't like it. I don't like it one bit. I really wish that the 49ers would have beaten the Rams last week. That way it would have been Rams at the Cowboys. That way the Cowboys could get out in the first round. I really like the Rams. I don't know. It's the Cowboys at home. And it sucks. It sucks so bad that the Eagles let them have this. It sucks so bad because all the jokes that we always got, it wasn't just you haven't been in the Super Bowl at all in the last 3 decades. It wasn't that. It was you haven't been in an NFC championship game in 2.5 decades. It was that. And now they're going to get that. I like Packers plus the points. Packers have been frisky, though. They're not going to beat the Cowboys at home. And it sucks to say out loud. And this is all the Nick Sirianni's offense and the Matt Patricia defense's fault, is what it is, that they get this opportunity. It's so defeating. It's so defeating on multiple levels. Because not only do you see the downfall of the Eagles season, but it coincides with just the Cowboys just continuing to middle, losing a couple games in a row, giving the Eagles every opportunity that they have in order to win the division. And now they're going to go and they're going to do a little stupid little run that they're going to have. Ugh. It's gross. It's gross. Dak is playing good. He can't miss CeeDee Lamb. What does the injury report look like for this game? Please be something bad. AJ Dillon, questionable, not good for us. Christian Watson, questionable, not good. Both the Packers starting running backs are questionable. Jair Alexander came up as questionable today. Stephon Gilmore, questionable, kind of good. Tyler Smith, questionable, kind of good. Jonathan Hankins, who really cares? He's not a playmaker on that defense. The Tyler Smith and Stephon Gilmore that's good for us. That's good, buddy. It's gonna be a delight if the Cowboys. That is the other thing. That's the other thing. The Cowboys always end up losing in some stupid, pathetic thing. Let's not forget about Ezekiel Elliott. Last year, the Eagles' last snap. Ezekiel Elliott's last snap as a Dallas Cowboy. He went under center and just got absolutely lit up. They just bulldozed him. They just bulldozed the dummy. That was hilarious. So never count out something dumb. But this is also okay. Listen, I'm talking myself into this. This is in Dallas. This is in Dallas in the afternoon. We know about Dallas in the afternoon during the playoffs. Remember, just picture this. Picture this. All right. It's going to be maybe 5 minutes before halftime. That glare is going to be coming in from that window at Jerry World because Jerry Jones is so stupid. Jerry Jones will close that window during concerts, like draw the blinds on it during concerts. For a football game, the one thing where it's actually detrimental to the players, Jerry Jones is going to keep those windows open. The sun's going to be blaring in. It's going to look awful on the TV, but the sun's going to be blaring in. He's going to throw the ball to Brandon Cooks. Brandon Cooks is gonna have the sun in his eyes, is gonna glance off his hands, and if Jair Alexander's healthy, Jair Alexander there for the interception, pick 6. Did I just manifest something? I might have just manifested something. That's always fun. It's always fun to see a playoff game in Jerry World and just to have them absolutely murder themselves via sunlight. What do you think you're better than the sun for, stupid Jerry? Oh, oof. And if they lose this game, if the Cowboys lose this game, they're gonna fire Mike McCarthy, which you could argue is a bad thing for us because in that case, maybe they're in the realm for one of these bright shiny head coaches with the Dak Prescott getting ready to get paid again. I don't know. They're gonna get rid of Mike McCarthy if they lose this game. I can't, man. I just can't say the Packers are going to win this game. But +7, hard not to take the +7. I like that. Okay, next game. Oh, also that's who's that Cowboys game a revenge game for? Okay, is that a revenge game for the Packers against Mike McCarthy because Mike McCarthy only got them one Super Bowl with Aaron Rodgers, or is that a Mike McCarthy revenge game against the Packers? / Dallas revenge game against the Packers since they always lose to the Packers in the playoffs. They always lose to the Packers in the playoffs. That's another thing. It's this mystical shit that I can't deal with. I don't know, man. I don't know. Could be big. I wonder what the money line is on that game. +270. I'm going to be dumb and I'm going to sprinkle that. Okay. Next game we got coming up. We got the Matthew Stafford Los Angeles Rams coming home to kill the Jared Goff-led Detroit Lions. Now, this game is definite. I know exactly who the revenge. This is a Jared Goff revenge game against the Rams. And Sean McVay even came out and said, I don't know if it was today or if it was yesterday, Sean McVay came out and said, we treated Jared Goff poorly. We shouldn't have done that. I feel bad about it. He broke up with his girlfriend and now he's sad that he did it. That's what this is. This is a Jared Goff game against the Rams. But the Rams, man, the Rams have been playing good. They just had two guys. They had two guys be the rookies of the month for December. They just had two guys. And Puka Nacua just broke two receiving records. I can't remember which one is which. One of those receiving records was made. The two records he broke were receiving yards for a rookie and receptions for a rookie. I can't remember which one it is, but one of them, the record was set in 1960. That's a 64-year-old record that he broke. That's a 64-year-old, 63-year-old record that he broke. That is crazy. That's a crazy thing that it lasted that long. The forward pass, they had been invented by then, but not this. Not this. Oh, I like this game. This is going to be a lot of fun. This is going to be the Sunday night game. But man, I think let's see what the spread is on this game. Let's see what the spread is on this game so I can make sure I'm not being some chalk dork. Spread on this game, the Rams are 3-point dogs to Lions at home. That building's going to be jumping because that's all that is. That's just a traditional home field advantage number. I don't necessarily decide tangent. I don't believe that the 3-point thing is a home field advantage number anymore. Yeah, back in the 80s, the 90s, and even maybe the 2000s, maybe that was the home field advantage thing because you're including travel. Then travel's different now. These players they're not taking Greyhounds. They're not taking some dinky plane. They got Ivan Drago's gym on these planes. Like they are resting fully and completely. If you've flown, you have not flown like the way that if imagine being an NFL player. Okay. If you're an NFL player, your first time ever flying in the history of ever is on your team's plane. And then maybe the season's over. You want to fly, I don't know, to why can't I think of a single city in Mexico? Not Mexico City. Bora Bora. I don't think that's in Mexico, but you want to go to Bora Bora, you get on a plane, buddy. That's going to be a different lifestyle for you. You're not on these team planes. You got your own pod. Like that whole thing with last year with Russell Wilson jogging up and down the field doing his exercises. I'm sure that pissed a few people off. It's probably distracting to have Russell Wilson running and doing all these exercises next to you. But buddy, these team planes, it's like a spaceship in there. Okay, it's goddamn. It's not travel. Anyway, my point there is that the 3-point advantage, the 3-point home advantage. I don't buy into that anymore. I think it's closer to 1.5 points at this point. Yeah, it's still travel. It's a 1.5 travel. Anyway, the Lions are 3-point favorites to the Rams. What did I say the over-under was in that game? 51.5 points. It's a high-scoring game. That Lions defense, that Lions defensive backs. I think Brian Branch is maybe a little bit dinged up. He's not on the injury report. Sam Laporte, as far as the defense goes, Jerry Jacobs, I don't know who that guy is. Buddy, that defense kind of stinks. Aside from that defensive line is good and everything. That defensive line is kind of poop. But also on offense, like I said, Sam Laporta. I saw Khalif Raymond was questionable today as well. Oof. God, I like the Rams. I like the Rams in this one a lot. I'm sorry, Detroit. I got a buddy's a Detroit guy. He said that they're kind of just happy to make it. But I won more than that for them. But man, this Rams team is playing out of their damn mind. I like the Rams. I like the Rams in this one. I like the Rams to win outright. It's plus 140 money line. Kind of like the over in it too. Man, that's going to be a good game. That's going to be a really fun game. Is that what is that going to be? That's going to be on NBC, obviously. Yeah, that'll be a good game. And then the last game of the weekend. Should I cover this now? Or should we cut? We'll do the coverage. We'll do the coverage of this game. It's the Eagles going to Tampa Bay. If you haven't paid attention, the line initially started at Eagles -2.5. It dropped down to Eagles -1.5. Now it's up to Eagles -3. The over/under is 43.5 points. I really do like the over in that game. Man, we'll get into that. Some other time. Was there anything else that I wanted to talk about today? This might be a short one. It's hard to do these by yourselves, you guys. I'm just having a conversation with myself, and I feel like a moron. Went over the rest of the games, did some of the coaching stuff. Just to touch on the coaching stuff to get you guys all caught up on it. Now we are talking going from west to east. We are talking about the Seattle Seahawks need a new head coach. The Chargers need one. The Raiders need one. Was that 3? The Falcons need one. The Commanders need one, and now the Patriots need one. It's going to be a lot of head coaches. It's going to be a lot of head coaches. And if you happen to be a team where you are potentially going to just get your D kicked off of your body, might need a new head coach. It's going to be kind of important to be kind of early on in that coaching cycle. Brian Johnson getting some calls. Oh, the Titans also need one. Adrian, hey, how's it going? I'm wrapping up here. But Brian Johnson getting calls. I don't know that much about it, and I don't know if I necessarily can talk about it. But what I've seen is that people are like, Brian, and I understand half of this sentiment. People are saying Brian Johnson probably not a real like candidate for some of these coaching jobs. I know he got a call for, maybe was it Atlanta and was it Tennessee? Like they requested to talk to him about, I can't remember what it's been, two of them, but people are saying that it's like he's going to be their, like he's their Rooney Rule like interview, which it sucks that teams do that. And people's argument is that, have you seen what he's done this year? It's been ass. And that's what I get. That's the sentiment. That I get that. What he's done is ass. So if you're saying it's a Rooney Rule thing because he's been ass, then I'm all board with you. I don't necessarily think it's a Rooney Rule thing. He was kind of one of these guys where if the Eagles didn't get him as their OC this year, some other team was going to get him. Could be good. Could be good for us if he does end up getting grabbed somewhere. But that's all I got for you guys tonight. That's all I got. We got 42 minutes in. Thank you guys very much for joining me. Tomorrow we will be back. We'll definitely have a full house. It won't just be me. You won't just have to keep listening to this stupid voice again. We will have more people on the show. Not entirely sure who it's going to be yet, but we have more people, so it'll actually be a real conversation rather than the ravings of a lunatic. But we are going to talk another injury report update. We are going to talk the matchups, of which there are some good ones. I mentioned earlier that the Rams have two of the rookies of the month on their team. The Buccaneers have the NFC Defensive Player of the Month in Antoine Winfield. That guy's good. Just a little teaser right now. Antoine Winfield. He leads the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in sacks. He leads the team not in sack yards. He's tied for first with sack yards. He leads the team in passes defended at 12. He leads the team in interceptions at 3. He leads the team in forced fumbles at 6 and in fumble recoveries at 7. The guy is a goddamn lunatic. That Antoine Winfield. The Eagles are going to have their hands full. That's just a teaser of what we got coming on tomorrow for the matchups and everything. Again, thank you guys very much for joining me. My name is Jake Beckman. Wild Card week rolls on, baby. Go Birds.